What's up, tribe, you guys? We are here today. I know we're here on election day, so we're going to try to take your mind off of all of that for a little while. We're here to talk to some relationship coaches, Toni and Tobias Reasons. They are a married couple, and they are here to talk to us a little bit about their podcast. And we're going to get into some things of the things. If you guys want to drop questions in the chat, you guys feel free to do that as we get into this. So you guys come on in, say hi. So
Good
welcome
afternoon. Good
to the
afternoon.
stage. Hey, how are you guys doing?
What's up,
Pretty
people?
good.
How you doing?
Pretty good. I
I'm
hope
good.
everyone went out and voted today.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely,
absolutely.
yes.
Yeah.
We just got finished talking about that. We went live a little bit earlier.
Okay.
And we were talking a little bit about that. I was telling people I'm feeling very anxious today. Very
Yeah,
anxious. So
same. The same.
yeah, but we voted, and you've done all you can do at this point. You know what they say,
That's
just
it.
Absolutely.
stand.
That's
When
it.
you've done all you
Absolutely.
can do, just stand, right?
Right.
So
You did
That's
your
it.
part. You did your part.
there
Yeah.
you go. So I wanted to have you guys on. A couple of weeks ago, I attended Winter Harris's Romancipation,
Hmm.
and I walk in the building and I come up the stairs, and all of a sudden I hear somebody call my name, and I was like, and I said, "What you doing here?" And it was my old principal from when I used to work. I'm not gonna say where I work, but where I used to work, and
Right.
um Toni, you worked there as well. I had to call her by her last name then, but I'm calling Toni today. But
Right.
Toni
Right.
worked there as well, and she said, "I'm here with with reasons and so forth and so on." And that's when I found out this path that you were on with you and your husband, and I really enjoyed you guys' conversation that night. I enjoyed what you brought to the conversation about relationships and being married and all of
Thank
the
you.
things.
Thank you.
I
Thank
did, I
you.
really did. And
Thank you.
you guys have a podcast that you guys do on your Instagram channel, which we're gonna get everybody to subscribe to. But I wanted
Yes.
to have you on my channel to just talk a little bit more about it. I don't know if we talk enough about those kinds of things. I do a lot of
Mm.
celebrity news over here. I do a lot of, television show reviews and stuff. So of course we talk a lot
Okay.
about, the messiness of things and what goes
Right.
wrong in people's lives. And I don't know if we focus enough on when things are going right. So I wanted to have you guys on here. And again, I was excited because I did not know this side of you. So tell us a little bit about you guys.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you having us as a guest on your platform.
Thank you.
So I am Toni Reason, and this is my husband Tobias Reason, and he'll get into a little bit about himself. We have been married for 18 and a half years. I've been on social media on the Instagram platform probably from when it first came out, probably about 12 to 13 years ago. And one of the things that I was seeing right from the beginning was just negativity regarding
Mhm,
marriages, right? So
mhm.
when we were like about year 14, year 15, I kept saying to Tobias and one of my sisters, I was like, I want to do something on social media to talk about marriage in a positive way. We see,
Mhm.
everybody doesn't cheat, right? Everybody's not miserable. And what are we doing for the black and brown community to actually bring forth the positivity, you understand, regarding marriages, right? So it
Exactly.
was
Yeah.
always on my mind. I am an author, right? I've wrote 3 books before, so I said I'm going to write a book about it, right? So at first I was pretty hesitant because I'm like, oh, we're only in going on year 15, and so many older people will say, well, what do they know about marriage, right? So even though for us it was a long time, but I was really hesitant in the beginning. So then I said to Tobias about 6 or 7 months ago, I said, you know what? We did something last year and we spoke about marriage on the platform of Instagram because I do have like a pretty good following. People do support me. I said, let's do something again just to see if the audience is receptive to what we're saying. So we did it one time and they were very receptive. We got a lot of feedback. That day was probably over 2,000 people that actually tuned in. So I said, you know what? People want to hear the message. I said, and Tobias, especially coming from a man's perspective, they need to see that there are still good black men out there. There are people that's not running around. There are people that's into their families. That family is first, and they do have that foundation of God. So let's do something. And that's really how we actually came forward with a reason for marriage, right? Reason being our last name. That's the title of the book and the podcast. And Tobias is really a laid back individual, but he agreed to do it just to support me. And then we started just having fun with it. We've been actually since June, right? We've been going, we up to episode 23 this week. And we just love engaging with our audience and hearing the feedback and just pushing forward regarding that message that we're trying to, share with the audience. Hearing the
Yeah.
feedback and
Sorry.
That
Okay.
that is that's it in a nutshell. But with our history, we go back, 30 some odd years. And we've known each other for a very long time. So we've been married for a nice amount of time, but we've known each other since we were kids. And what we wanted to do was we wanted to show that even from the community that we're from, we're from the hood. What I like, why I like to shine a light on that is because marriage is not looked at as the most positive thing when you're from the hood. Okay, when you're from an impoverished neighborhood. Okay,
Mhm.
and I wanted to put out there that you can have a successful marriage looking how we look and being where we're from.
That's right.
You can do it if you really want to do it. If you keep
Mhm.
saying that marriage isn't for you, you don't need a man, you don't need a woman, however you got it going on, then you're not going to have a lifetime significant other. And I think that a lot of times on social media, when I see things, it's more of the battle of the sexes. And it doesn't always have to be like that. And I want to express to people that we are better together as a team than we are apart as enemies
Mhm.
or battling buddies. And I think that we need to show the more positive aspect of marriage. You have a whole lot of negative out there. What about the positive aspects of marriage? Now, marriage is life. You're going to go through life. Life isn't easy, it isn't peachy, but you go through it anyway. You don't see people just offing themselves because life is hard, right? A whole bunch of people all over the place. Same thing, you shouldn't off marriage. You should really try it and put your best forward, put your best foot forward when in a marriage. So that's what we wanted to get across, basically.
And that's kind of what I did walk away from that. When because the whole evening was about romance and love and relationships and the ups and downs of it. And so I did walk away from that. And if you guys can't tell where they're from, if you can't hear the accent coming through, you guys are from New York, right?
Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn,
That's
New
right.
York,
That's correct.
right.
If I
East New
can't
York.
hear it, I don't
Yeah.
know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So, and you guys, in your journey through this labyrinth of relationships, what when you say you guys have known each other, so when you were dating, what made it say, okay, this is my person? Like where, like how did y'all get to the this is my person?
All right. So, like Tobias mentioned, we knew each other since kids. And we weren't dating the whole period. Like we met, I was 11, he was 13 through a cousin of mine that passed away. So we grew up in the same neighborhood. When we got to high school, we actually started dealing with each other, dating, as we'll say, messing with each other back in the day.
Right.
And we became friends. We became really close during that time. He always said I was gonna be his wife. I ain't pay him no mind. I thought he was just running game. That's what it was back then. And it wasn't until I was 24 and he was 26, my mom had bumped into him. And then we just reconnected. We were on the phone for hours. He came to visit me at the time. I was living in Virginia. And we ended up getting married 7 months later. I was very clear on me wanting to become a wife because that's all I ever saw. My parents have been married 40 years. My mother was married prior to that to my biological father. So that's all I saw, right? I always knew I wanted to be someone's wife. I conveyed that to Tobias. I knew what I wanted even at a very young age. Growing up in New York, you grow up very fast, right? So as teenagers, I already knew, look, I ain't playing no games. I mean, of course, I played around and dated different people, but I knew I wanted to be a wife one day and I knew what I wanted out of life. So I knew Tobias had those traits because he just was a good guy, right? And I just felt, I prayed. I always prayed. I had this list that I generated. And I said, God, one of my old pastors has said, if you're looking for your significant other, create you a list of everything that you want. And it was a list of 20 things. And if they have at least 14 of those things, then find yourself lucky. That's your person. Tobias had 19 out of 20, so I kind of knew yeah, that we was kind of destined to be together. And he just had my back. I felt very safe with him. I knew that he really wanted me to be his wife above anyone else, and I felt it. He showed me through his actions. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a point of knowing each other well, and being able to be friends the way we were, and then come together as a married couple. So your question was, what when did you know that this was the one for you? This person was the one for you. And
Mhm.
my story is actually very corny and very simple to most people. But to be honest with you, I knew she wanted to be married. She expressed that to me. Not only did she express it to me verbally, but she expressed it physically on the things that she was doing. She
Mm.
wanted to be a wife, and you can tell by her attitude and actions. So that's interacting with her family, interacting with me, taking care of the household. We're taking care of the household together. She showed she wanted to be a wife. When I heard her laughing on the phone with her mother, that's what really had me know this is the woman for me. The reason why that had me know this is because when she was happy, it pleased me. And I was
Oh.
pleased with her being happy. From right then on, right then and there, I knew that this was, as you call, the one.
Right. That's great because again, there are people out here looking, and my pastor actually told me something very similar. He said, make a
Wow.
list. He said you have to be specific in what you
Hmm.
pray for. You can't just say, Lord, bring me a man, because he's gonna bring you a man.
Come on
But is
here.
it a man you want? Is it a man
Right.
you should be with? Now he gonna bring you a
Right.
man, and that's when he said you got to make a list and you have to be very specific in what you are
Hmm.
asking for. So that was familiar when I heard you say that. Now, when you guys in your relationship at the podcast, I mean at the event, your podcast is broken down into almost like chapters, right? Each
Hmm.
you have a very specific title for each um episode. What are some just like a few of the episodes that you got, just some of the titles, so people will understand like
Right.
we are very intentional in what we bring to you guys
Right.
on a week to week basis.
Right. So just last week, our title, which a lot of people were very engaged, things that annoy your spouse, right? We talk about just different things that go on, that people can relate to. Other topics can be have been
Financial, as
finances,
far as sharing bank
sharing bank
accounts with your
accounts,
spouse, how to
raising kids,
raising
raising
kids, how
children.
to conduct yourself around your spouse's family, input from your spouse's
Right.
family on how you guys should handle your marriage. It's
Dealing with
been,
hardships.
yeah, hardships.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dealing with someone else being disrespectful or trying to come onto your spouse, right? How to manage just the household, when you feel like one is not putting in more work than the other or not equally contributing to the household.
Handling disrespect from
Disrespect,
family
right?
members or from
Hmm.
close friends, how to handle the
Mm,
Yeah.
disrespect, whether it's disrespecting you or your spouse, how to handle
mm,
that disrespect, and the best way of going
mhm.
about resolving that issue of
How to bring
disrespect.
how to bring the spark back, when things die down, you be with people for a
Yeah.
long period of time. Romance.
How to marriage, being married and working,
Right.
and then
How to
Mhm.
working
balance.
for
Yeah.
a particular goal, right? And how often you're
Traveling.
working,
The importance of
traveling.
traveling, or when you and your
Yeah.
spouse are in different cities or countries due to work or whatever it may be. Um, Long distance relationships. We cover everything, to be honest with you, Crystal. We
And
try to
yeah, and
think of
also
anything that anyone could have ever dealt with.
raising your child,
Mhm.
as far as you guys having different vantage points on how your child should be raised and how to come together and bridge that gap that you guys have
Mhm.
together. So there's a plethora
Mhm.
of, topics that we have. And
Mhm.
also it's just about the show is really a simple way of dealing with complex marital problems.
Well,
And
not even so much problems, just
just
day to
a
day.
complex way of
Right.
dealing with marriage.
Yeah.
Not even problems.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
you're
it's
right,
not always
Tony.
problems.
It's not. And I
Yeah.
don't want to put that out there
Right.
because that is put out there
Like a negative.
in the
and it's not.
world, and
Yeah.
it's not like that at all.
Yeah.
And I think subliminally
Mm-hmm.
we think that. Just like I just said, right?
Right.
And it's not a
Right,
problem.
right.
It's just being married. It's
Yeah.
just life,
Yeah.
right? So thank you
Whenever
on
you
that.
got two imperfect
Yeah,
human beings
thank you on
together,
that.
right?
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
you're
Right.
you on that.
welcome. It's gonna
Yeah,
always be some type of disagreement, or sometimes you're just not gonna see eye to eye.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to
right.
give, just based on our experience, our
Mm-hmm.
education, things that we have, went through. We just want to share that light, to give people some
Mm-hmm.
type of assistance.
Right.
Yeah, I have found that, and I mean, you can tell me, guys, if you agree or you found this in your process. Marriage is, again, I'm the same as you. My parents have been married almost 60 years. And so I'm sure in those
Nice.
60 years, the ups and the downs, and they've gone all those things y'all mentioned, I'm sure they could check a list, right? And
Right.
I think we look at relationships now, and I feel like people are really too easy to quit.
Oh,
They are so
yes.
easy to just walk away and
Absolutely.
just say, you know what, this is hard. And the reality is it is going to be hard. Like, you meet somebody like with you guys. You guys got married in your 20s. Y'all aren't the same people that you were then.
Absolutely. And we talk
And
about that,
We
so
talk
Crystal.
about that. Yeah, we
that's
mentioned that.
exactly. And I think that's the
Yeah.
thing, people have to figure out how to ride that
Mhm.
roller coaster, I guess, and deal with the peaks and the valleys. And so I think, like you said, it's not always a problem, but it is the adjustment, and
Mhm.
how do we adjust and
Mhm.
make it work? Because of course we do love each other. I
Right.
might not like you
Yeah.
sometime, but it's the love is
Right.
there. And as
Right.
long as the love is there, we have to push, right? You have to push through the love, right? So
Yes.
I use the title relationship coaches,
Mhm.
right? So in that space, do you guys do like individual coaching, or do you consider your podcast as the coaching?
So we do consider the podcast as the coaching, but it's funny that you mentioned that, because I'm a certified life coach and Tobias is actually getting certified as we speak. So
Okay.
we're looking at the new year. That's some of the services that we're going to be offering, because we had so many people reach out to us to say, hey, do y'all do any type of mentor, any type of coaching? Like,
Yeah.
we need help. And it's
Yeah.
both genders. So I told Tobias, we definitely want
Mm.
to add that,
And
that service, because people need it.
yeah, we were surprised
Yeah, we
actually
were.
because we didn't come into this on
Looking for that. Right.
trying to coach people or
Right.
trying to tell you one thing or the other. We just came into this just giving our
Being straight up.
experience and our vantage point and what
Mhm.
things that just the average marriage couple goes through and resolving those issues if issues arise, how to ride the good times and how to ride on the bad times, just like you were saying with the
Yeah.
changes, right? After
Right.
years of being married.
Mhm.
And that's what we were trying to do because again, we are more standing up for marriage than anything else. This came out of that.
Right.
So,
It was birthed. Right.
it was birthed out of this. So
Yeah.
we were actually surprised that people wanted
Yeah.
to hear more. The show isn't actually long enough for people. People want
Yeah.
the show to be
Like,
longer.
can you go to an hour?
Yeah.
30 minutes isn't enough.
Yeah.
So,
So,
and Crystal, something that you said really stood out to us, because we mentioned that in the book about marriage being like, it is like a roller coaster, because you go through so many
right.
ups and downs. Sometimes you're fearful, sometimes you have doubt, sometimes you're scared, sometimes you're
Yeah.
very excited. And then at the end, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I made it. Let's push through. And people don't, you're right. When you mentioned that, people just give up. They don't want to stay for the long haul. I think it has a lot to do with social media. We live in a microwave society, and
Yeah.
everybody
Yes.
just wants everything instantaneously, and they just want
Mm-hmm.
to give up if it doesn't work in their favor right there and then. So
Right.
Yeah.
The
That's the
the
term I
hard
use.
work isn't there. Yeah, the hard work it isn't there for people, and
Mhm.
that's what we got to put back into
Yeah.
things. Things that are worth having are hard to keep.
Absolutely.
And there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with striving to keep those things that are hard to have because they work out to
It's
be
worth it.
well worth it in the future. But what were you saying? I cut you off inadvertently. My
No.
bad.
I was just saying that's the term I use, microwave society.
Yeah.
I'm in education, and I
Yes.
I deal with that with my students. They want everything. They want it
Now.
instant. They want it now. They don't want to do the work. They don't, and it's that. Unfortunately, that's the society we live in. It's across the board. We also
Yes.
live in a disposable society. People are so quick to just throw things away whether it be
Yes.
people, things, material things. I mean, we even see it. I mean, something as simple as our food. Everything is microwavable. Everything is just
Yes.
something we can easily
So true.
disposable and throw it away. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so,
Right.
yeah, I think that's across the board, and it is a mentality that unfortunately people are growing up with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even people
Definitely.
our age have kind
Oh
of
yeah.
gone into
Yeah.
that mindset. So it's not we're not
Yeah.
talking
Oh
about young
yeah.
folk before the young folk get me. I ain't talking about we're not talking about age, we're talking about the mentality, you know.
Right.
Absolutely. We agree.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's definitely an exciting thing to look forward to, you guys. Now, you
Yes.
also said you guys, author, you guys wrote a book called A Reason for Marriage as well. Is that on Amazon, or where can people get it?
Yes, so the book should be out. I'm thinking I just got it back from the editor, so it should be out within 2 weeks. We're very excited about it.
Okay.
It will be on Amazon. I also self-publish, so it'll be on my website, and I'm gonna plug
Okay.
that at the end so I can have everyone subscribe so they get a notification from my
Yes,
website on
we
when the book
definitely
is
want people to do
being
that.
released.
We want people to do it. And listen, something else I found out, especially for self-publishers, a friend of mine is a self-publisher. When you
Mhm.
order books, and I have to start getting the habit of this as well. When you order books from Amazon, also leave a comment. Leave a
Reviews,
comment,
yes,
because
yes,
that helps push those books, especially these independent
yes,
publishers. And she told me that every time I see her, the first thing she does, she said, "Give me your phone," and she goes into my Amazon and she just leaves comments on
yes.
stuff, so that it
Smart.
pushes it up. It pushes it
I
up. So yeah,
learned
we
that from
want to
my other
start doing
book.
that.
Yes, that is so cool. Yes,
Yes.
thank you for
I didn't
that.
know that either. She told me, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. So again, that's something I have to start doing as well. So we'll definitely get
Right.
to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that at the end. So when we talk about where you guys are now, and you didn't
Mhm.
expect for it to kind of go in the direction that it's
Right,
going. So
right.
every Sunday night, what time do people need to
6
be ready
p.m.
to log
every
in?
Sunday. Every Sunday, we start at 6 p.m. on the dot. You know, I'm an on-time person coming from our background. We start at 6
Right.
p.m. Usually we're about 30 minutes. Sometimes we run over to about 35 minutes. We may run over 5 minutes. We also do a section called Marriage Mailbox, which a lot of people like. So we take questions the week before. Sometimes it's 2 weeks before, depending upon how many questions I receive. People can DM me, inbox me, text me, call me, and they send me questions that they may have regarding marriage, and we answer those questions, my perspective, Tobias' perspective. Sometimes we even get feedback from the audience, and people really enjoy that. So we do that at the last 10 minutes of the show.
We
Okay.
make it as interactive as
Right.
possible, but
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to fit so much in such a short
Right.
time
Period of
span
time.
that we kind of have to, cut ourselves short and cut their interactions short. Even though
Right.
we love their interactions, we would like more of it, but it's just the time
Yeah.
isn't there for,
Yeah.
every single interaction to be gone into and talked about. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I know don't being up here doing this, sometimes you look up and you're like, wait a minute, I did not mean to be up here this long. I did not mean to be talking. So as
Exactly.
the conversations get good and things get going, there you
Right.
go.
Right.
Now,
Exactly.
now the people who are in the comments now or are catch the replay, y'all heard what she said. If you have questions, don't send them to me.
Right.
Subscribe to her Instagram. We're gonna get y'all
Yes.
that information, and y'all send her, because if you send them to me, all I'm gonna do is send them to her. I don't have the answers.
Thank
I
you,
don't have the
Crystal.
answers. But make sure y'all send them to Toni and Tobias, and they will make sure that they get those questions answered. And again, I think what you guys do, and that's is important. And when we start talking about, you don't limit to just married couples, right? You guys are open
Right.
to people who are maybe just starting out and dating and that kind of thing as well.
Correct.
That is correct.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. Because we want people to want to get married, right? So we
Right.
can't just limit it just to married people. And sometimes people are married, they feel nobody can't tell them nothing anyway, right?
Right.
So we actually push, unless they're going through something in their marriage or they just, newly married, but we want to
Mm-hmm.
push the whole marriage, the whole union, right? So we get a lot of, I would say about 35 to 40% of our audience are probably single people or people that are dating that are interested in being married.
And then
Okay.
those, a show that we did have talked about finding your significant other or your spouse,
Mhm.
kind of what you asked, how do you know when you found the one?
Yes, that was a
And
good one.
we went over that in
Mhm.
detail to know when you found the one.
Mhm.
So, the just to give you one tidbit off that, when you found the one when someone cares about your well-being, period. Okay, so that's one way you know you found the one. And we went through a couple of different aspects of that particular point in the on the show.
Okay. So when people go to your Instagram, I'm not the Instagram person. I
Okay,
post,
go
and
ahead.
I'm not.
I'll
But
give you some guidance, or the audience some
okay.
guidance on
So
what
how
to
do
do.
people find your past episodes? Are they just in
Okay,
your
so
stream, or do they have to go into the what's that
they
other
can just
button with it?
scroll down. They can
Oh,
scroll
okay.
down. And if they go to the video, because it's a section called the Reels, if they just click on that one, they'll see them. It all rolls right down. But it's a
Okay.
video. It's 30 minutes. It's every Sunday. But usually people do go back that miss it, especially with football season. A lot of stuff is going on. But we have a lot of people that catch it, afterwards.
Sports.
Yeah. But yeah, they go right to Tony the Lifestyle, my page, and they just go ahead and click on it. And yeah, they could just log right on. Just press play and it'll play for them.
Yeah, because I caught you guys talking to Jamie and Arena, who I
Yes.
know
Oh,
from
yeah.
Love and Marriage, DC child.
Yes.
They are. I love them. I love them.
Yes. Yes.
Because I review the show, so we've gotten to be familiar with each other through
Yeah. Really
me
cool, down to
supporting,
earth. Yes. We love
yeah,
them.
me
They're
supporting
Good
the show and
people.
good
everything.
people.
So
Good people.
yeah, and I caught that one, and it was real interesting. They're funny,
Yes.
especially when they got to talking about reality TV, and Raina was like, "We don't pay them any mind," and Jamie was like, "You can speak for yourself."
Right. Right.
They're
Right.
funny. They're
Right.
funny,
Yeah.
but as far as like your platform, outside of I've seen that you guys have done collabs with some other
Mhm.
people. What are some other like collabs that you guys have maybe done with other couples or other podcasts, or that people can maybe support or go out and find as well?
So we actually just started, Crystal, to be honest with you, the collaborations. We actually have a big collaboration coming up that we're excited about.
Okay.
Yeah.
A couple, it's a fitness couple that I've been friends with probably for about 7 years, Mr. and Mrs. 2 Weeks Out. So they've been married about 22 years. So we'll be interviewing them 2 weeks from now on, I believe that's that Sunday, the 15th or the 16th. So I'll have that
Okay.
information soon posted on my page. So we just started the collaborations. In the beginning, we initially wanted everyone to hear from us. And then we
Right.
wanted to also bring in some experts. And then to be honest with you, it's hard to find people that are interested, or it's an interest for us, because we're not going to bring anyone on our platform that we don't either admire or we can feel that's going to be really relatable to our audience, if you understand what I'm
Right.
saying.
Exactly.
I
We
do.
don't want to bring on anybody phony or they got their own issues going on. There's no
Right,
perfect
right.
couple, but we want to bring someone that they can be inspired by. You understand?
And that's really
I
true
do.
to their marriage.
Right.
You understand? It's not it's not a smoke screen.
Right.
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 They're really
Right.
true and
Right.
engaged in their marriage.
Right.
We got something else is coming up and we just did on
Sure.
on
Oh, yes,
Halloween.
yes. We just
So-
did one of my girlfriends in Virginia,
Yeah.
really Tanya. So serial entrepreneur, we've known each other. She's been supporting me probably for about 15 years. So we just had an interview. That'll be released probably the time the book comes out, probably the beginning of December or late November.
Something like that.
Yeah, so we
yes.
had, and we are getting a lot of
They
people
finished-
reaching out to
They
us.
finished with editing it and
Right.
taking care of what they need to take care of. Yeah, it should be
Yeah,
out.
so that'll be out. So that we had a good time with her as well, down in Virginia, because we lived in Virginia for some time as well. So we're, a lot of people are reaching out. We do have a good support system, people who do love Tony and Tobias.
Yeah.
So, and they are pushing, our brand, and we greatly appreciate it, because we didn't even know we had this brand in us. You know what I
Right.
mean? It,
Well,
Right.
Well, we
honestly,
do.
honestly, to be honest, we didn't even know we had the brand. Again, we was just
Right.
talking and giving
Yeah.
our opinion on
Right.
why
Mhm.
marriage is the thing to
Yeah.
do. We
Yeah.
was just giving
Mhm.
that, and it turns into
Yeah.
a brand right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's excellent. And if the people want it, we're willing to give it to them.
Mhm.
If they like how we
Listen.
bring it, we're willing to give it to them. We know this is not unique. Okay,
Mhm.
what we speak
I
about,
disagree. It is
but our style and how we
Yeah.
deliver things is
Right.
unique. The way we
Right.
come across is unique.
Right.
Anyone can tell you about marriage,
Right.
but we're doing it in a relatable way.
Right.
So again,
Being real.
right, it's
what
relatable.
it is.
Everyone can understand.
Right.
It's not like
Right.
you have to be this high totem pole person to be in marriage and
Right.
have your marriage be
Right.
successful. No, you can be an ordinary street person from the street, an ordinary person that works an ordinary job,
Right.
just a plain person anyway, and this can work for you. You don't have to be a billionaire
Right.
for to have a marriage work. You don't have to be a different
Well, they
race
go
or
through more
color
than anybody.
to have a marriage work. You know, you can look
Yeah.
like us and your marriage can work. These things can happen for you. So
Yeah.
And Crystal,
And
just the way
honestly,
you
I
used to
think
see. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say just the way you used to see me at work, as real as it comes. That's how we both are. We're gonna be very straight up.
Right.
Whatever questions they ask, we're gonna answer it just the way it is.
Exactly. And yes, you were keeping it real. Yes, ma'am. But that's what I was gonna say. Like, I think again, sometimes we get so caught up in this celebrity world
Oh
that we
gosh.
feel like, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, hearing
yeah,
it from the everyday person that you can run into at the Starbucks, that you can see in
Right.
church, that you can
right.
Come
see at
on
the
here.
Target, that
That's the
realizes, listen, like
idea.
you said, we're
That's the
real,
idea.
we're honest about what we've been through, we're honest about where
That's
we
right.
are. We're
Right.
not perfect. We don't have all the answers. We can give you the guidance of what we've been through and
That's
take
it.
it from there.
Yep.
I can respect that. I sort of stumbled into this as well. So I get it. You
Okay.
never know. You just start doing something and then you realize, wait a minute, I kind of like doing this and people are
Right.
listening. People actually care about my
Correct.
opinion about something.
Right.
Okay,
Right. Right.
I'll keep talking. Right.
Right.
So
Correct.
Right.
you never know where it's going to go. And like I said to you when I spoke to you on the phone, that's kind of, it was kind of a past, present, and a future kind of thing. So the book is coming out. You guys are doing collabs. You guys are getting into life coaching in the 2025. Like, all of these things are evolving from just you having the idea of saying, hey, let's bring some positivity to this space.
Right.
You just don't know.
Right.
You just don't know.
Right.
What
And
other kinds of things do you want to, like, would you love for this brand to evolve into? Like the lifestyle coaching, of course,
Absolutely.
books, the book coming out, you may,
Right.
doing book, like what kinds of things where do you guys see
I,
that vision going
I would
forward?
like to just go to a national platform. I think not just our community. It
Mm.
needs to be spread across the country. It needs to be spread across the world. People need to see young or middle-aged successful marriages. They need to really hear the word. I think that's attack of the enemy, what goes on right now. I'm sorry.
I was gonna
It's
say,
a
and marriages of color, people of
yes,
color.
yes. It's a division. It's a lot of division out here
Mhm.
between men and women, right? And we see it in
Mhm.
every day
Mhm.
within the work field. We see it in our communities. I think we need to, like Tobias made mention of, we need to bring it back. They need to really see it. I would love us to be on platforms for people from all across the world to ask us questions just so we can share this message. To be honest with you, I don't know where it's going, but we are very open. We're receptive to, long as it's a positive manner and long as it matches our brand, we're all for it.
Yeah, and to give you an idea of like the broad stage that Tony's talking about, more so like TED Talks, because you don't
Mm.
see couples on a TED Talk, for instance. And I think that would be something that's fresh and new, especially about marriage. You see a lot of single people talking about marriage or talking about their professional fields that they're in. But you don't see a couple sitting on the stage or standing on the stage, usually with TED Talks is standing, and talking about what goes on for the average person in marriage and making it relatable, because sometimes people need to hear something from you and not another person. So like you was just saying, oh, people want to hear me talk, well, I'm gonna keep talking it. Well, that's because people needed to hear that message from you.
That's right.
They can hear the same message from someone else's mouth and it just won't get through to them.
It won't
Like
get through.
when you
Yeah.
speak, you're getting through. When we speak, we get through to people. And that's the focus, is to get through to them on their level. Not saying we're above, not saying we're lower, not saying we're anything. We're just getting to them on their level and how they may digest
Mhm.
it in a much
Right.
easier fashion. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, I was gonna tell you, well, I think everybody's voting because if we just got finished doing a live and everybody, like I said, everybody's been dealing with the the emotions and feelings
Oh yeah.
of
Every
Yes.
voting.
day.
Yes.
Um,
Right.
but I
Yes. The
told you guys I wasn't
politics
gonna.
of it.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I'm anxious, and as somebody, I'm a born and raised Washingtonian. You know, I've never really, I don't know, just anxious is the best word I have for it.
Yeah,
Um,
I would agree.
yeah. So what I'm gonna say is this, though. I want to let you go. We're gonna put all your information out so people know where to find you guys. I told you I wouldn't keep y'all longer than an hour. Um, but I want people to know. Well, I wanted to say this to you. Your platform is my platform is always open to you guys. So when the book comes out,
Oh,
if you want
Thank
to
you.
come back,
Thank you.
if you're getting into life
thank
coaching, you
you.
want, like, it's always open. Because again, I support what you guys are doing. Love what you
Thank
guys are
you.
Thank
doing.
you.
So whatever I
Thank
can
you.
do to support that, I will do. I will do that. And it was really great to again get to know you, Toni, in this aspect, because again, you
Thank
know,
you.
I saw you as, and listen, we're not telling what it was, but she trust and believe she was the HNIC. Okay, Toni was running things, and she was in charge. So to see you in a softer space, because I did,
Right.
you couldn't be soft in the job in which we were
Right.
in. So to see
Right.
you in a softer space, I think also made me be like, okay, all right, because
Right.
I think
wearing
that's
jeans, wearing heels and dresses and makeup and stuff. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Right.
I think that's a good point that you just brought up. You see, and this is for married people, right? And this may be geared more towards women. You can have your assertive nature at work. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you come home, you're going to have to get into your feminine. And just like you were saying with Toni, I've never seen this side of you. Well, you've never seen her feminine side when she's around me. Okay,
right,
you've seen her when she was in the world by herself handling her
right,
business. There's nothing
right.
wrong with being aggressive and tackling challenges when you're at work and you're taking care of business. But when you come home, if you want to be married and stay that way, you need to get into your softer mode, as you was alluding to when talking about Toni. So I think that's excellent, and that's something that we actually spoke about on
Yeah,
one of our shows.
we
But you bring
did.
up a great point. I just wanted to underscore what you
Yeah.
just said.
Yeah. And see, here's the thing. Some people don't want to hear that, but that's you're not, I don't think you're lying. But some people don't want to, but I don't think you're lying. I think if we want to talk about roles and you want somebody to take care of you, got to open a space to be taken care
Right.
of, you know?
Absolutely. Men
Yeah.
are still
So,
men, right? So,
And
men are
you
still
and
men. Exactly.
of course, that's a guy that deserves that from
that,
you.
that part.
That's a
That
guy
part.
that
Absolutely.
respects you and holds you in the highest esteem as a woman.
Right.
You're not coming home and getting beat on or cursed out or anything like that. So that's a
Mm-hmm.
guy that has worked for that from you
Value.
and deserves that from you.
Earn that
So
space. Yes.
yes,
Earn that respect. Oh yeah,
exactly,
it's definitely an earned thing. Absolutely.
absolutely,
But again, that's the process of a relationship. And you know,
yes,
you know,
yes,
setting the standard, being held to the standard, and holding yourself to the
yes,
standard, and letting that evolve into that space of respect. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
absolutely.
agree 120%. So I want tell me your website so people will know
So,
where to
yes.
go. So like you said, they can
So,
get subscribed, so they'll get alerts.
thank you. So, the website is womanofreason.com. And we can also be reached at book Toni and Tobias at gmail.com. So we are accepting bookings, like I had make mention of. People are reaching out to us, right, for different engagements and things like that. So we're looking to do some of
Mhm.
those towards the new year. The goal was to get the book finished, and being that that's complete, we're going to also have a book signing coming up. So if you go onto our website, sign up and subscribe, I would definitely have a
Mhm.
notification come out when the book is going to actually drop. And you should be expecting in the next couple of weeks.
And this will
Also,
be a
my
great Christmas gift, y'all, for anybody that
yes,
y'all know,
yes,
couples, people getting married,
yes,
newlyweds. This will be
yes.
it's coming out right before
Right.
Christmas. Go
Right
and put it in
before
your bucket
Christmas.
over on Amazon and
Yes.
listen.
And go
Listen.
on to Toni the Lifestyle, and it's Toni the Lifestyle, and that's my Instagram handle. Go ahead and give me a follow. I'll follow you back. And also, if they have any questions for the marriage mailbox, they can just shoot me a DM. Also, there's my email contact information as well on my website, and that's
Okay.
Absolutely.
womanofreason.com.
Yeah. That's the way to reach us. the way to get
Yeah.
questions to us, that's everything right there. Yeah. So feel free to reach out. Feel free.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys make sure that you guys are LinkedIn, that you are hooked up. You have all the infos in the chat. I will also post it on my community wall on my channel. So you guys, if you missed it, or you can get it there. If you're catching this in the replay, make sure you guys go on over there and y'all give Toni a follow. Y'all go ahead and get that information. And like I said, y'all may be seeing them again sometime soon. You don't know.
Yes.
They might be seeing them again with the book, and they have the book coming up and all of that. And if you are in the DMV area, when they get the lifestyle situation straightened out and they taking bookings for life coaching, well, you probably don't even have to be in the DMV area. You can do that.
No, you don't, because everything is virtual, and they can reach out to us now because we already got people contacting us, so they can.
Reach out to them now. Reach out now.
Yeah.
If they value our opinion, they like what we have to say. Go ahead and reach. I mean, people are reaching out with questions now. You know, why not you? You could do the same thing. So if you value our opinion, you like what we talk about, you think what we have to say is important, go ahead and reach out. We'll be more than happy to reach back to you.
Exactly. Down to earth. You guys get that. So again, like I said, I just want to make sure that I open up the platform, let you guys know it's here. You guys can come back. It's so great talking to you guys. It was so great again.
Thank you.
Reconnecting with you, Miss Toni. It was so good to see you as well.
You as
nice
well,
to meet your husband, because I knew you had one. I had never met him. So it was nice to meet your husband. And winter brought us together.
Yes. And we're going to stay in contact. I'll let you know we're going to definitely have a book signing coming up within the next 30 days. So I'll give you all that information as well. And you'll be seeing the Reasons around.
All right. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to go ahead. Like I said, I wasn't going to keep you guys longer than an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and let you go enjoy the rest of your day. We're going to relax, relate, and release the best way we can.
Yes.
We've done all we can do. That's it. That's absolutely.
That's right.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Go ahead and I'm going to end it out now. Thank you.